broken bones.
Then she turned to Hadi and shook his shoulder. Get up, senseless man. The children are roaring with fear and your sleep is not over here. Sabah, who was leaning on him, saw him opening his eyes and moved back. He was surprised to see Sabah. Then sat up at once. What happened? Everything is fine. Now he was worried. He saw the time on the clock in front of him. It was 2 o'clock in the night. I tell you what is the problem if you get up. She was staring at him. Hearing her joke, Hadi, who was feeling even a little bit sleepy, flew away. His mind will flash back to the day she took his class for getting the wrong name. Tell me, ma'am. What is the problem you are facing at this time? Their innocent children are crying and crying because of fear, their father is resting. He quickly got up from the bed after listening to her. No one cares for such small children alone. If they were afraid or hungry, the mother went to God and the dear father did sleep. Hadi opened his eyes and saw her. If you are finished with your tantrums, I will go to my children. Both were not talking to each other but were firing missiles. No more they are not. I have sown them, what was the need to raise me when I have done so much good, or else there is no peace without advertising goodness. Hadi is burning with anger. He sleep very hardly, they are sleeping but they are children, they can get up at any time. Someone must be with them. Either sleep in their room or sleep with them. I have kept it quiet for now I can't provide my services for your children all the time. Instead of bricks, he picked up stones and killed them. Hadi groaned. Dee groaned. Oh my God! While she had gone to throw stones. Hadi had brought the children to him that night, but the doll, who was sleeping happily in his room, kept waking up again and again after coming to his room. And Hadi woke up that morning very seriously, not only thought for the governorship but also advertised in the newspaper. Today was Sunday and Hadi had to interview for the governorship. Sabah was sitting with the children. When Hadi is there. Came Nazabu was also behind him. Come to the lawn with the children. He ordered Nazabu. Sabah looked at Swali and Nazabu questioningly, did not even want to see Hadi's form. They are interviewing G. Begum's nanny, for the children, Hadi Sahib. All the girls have come to the lawn. Sabah did not give any response after listening. Is it good to have a nanny? I have come to take care of her children. She got up and started to leave. When Hadi addressed him. Can you help me? Suddenly Hadi had offered her and she wondered why, but she nodded her head and was surprised to see the girls who came for this job in the lawn. None of them seemed forced and during the interview she realized that she had come to be Hadi's caretaker and not for the children. There is someone who is the Prince of Kaf for whom they are dying. She was bored. Hadi too, now bored from all this. Many girls had gone. Finally, Hadi selected the best of them. Sabah didn't like her either, but remained silent. He thought that instead of a girl, a woman of suitable age should be hired to take care of the children, but Hadi's will. She got up from there. While Hadi was talking to this girl about salary and accommodation. Governess was meeting both children. Ahad started crying as soon as he went to her, so he tried to silence her, but he couldn't help it. Then Sabah went ahead and took Ahad from him. He was silent as he went to Sabah. Gurnis said he is a very sweet child, just a bit stubborn. She was embarrassed by his crying. No, Ahad is not stubborn, he just doesn't go to strangers. If you get to know yourself, he will be very happy with you. Sabah replied immediately. Hadi was also standing there, but in the case of children, Sabah was being talked about more and Hadi was thinking that what he had heard about the disapproval of the children was true. What is the name of this little doll? Now the governess turned to the doll lying in the cut. Hadi remembered that until now he had been calling his daughter Ray, there was no correct name. For a few moments Sabah Tana kept looking at him with her eyes. Then spoke up. His name is Noor Ain. Hadi looked at him in disbelief. He hadn't really expected her to cover up his indifference like this, but it had happened in such a tense day that a slight sense of joy touched him. Then Batty remained silent and she continued to give instructions to the governess about the children who disliked the children. Sabah believed that he only had sympathy for these children. If she had even the slightest sense that she was becoming enamored with these kids and the kids with her, she would have stopped there, but because she felt it was sympathy, it was okay. Then she turned to Hadi and shook his shoulder. "Get up, senseless man. The children are roaring with fear and your sleep is not over here." Sabah, who was leaning on him, saw him opening his eyes and moved back. He was surprised to see Sabah. Then sat up at once. "What happened? Everything is fine." Now he was worried. He saw the time on the clock in front of him. It was 2 o'clock in the night. "I tell you what is the problem if you get up." She was staring at him. Hearing her joke, Hadi, who was feeling even a little bit sleepy, flew away. His mind will flash back to the day she took his class, forgetting the wrong name. "Tell me, ma'am. What is the problem you are facing at this time?" "Their innocent children are crying and crying because of fear, their father is resting." So, such looks of a daughter born on such a number used to bring glory to the mother. It was thankful that there was never a shortage of anything in their house. It was a well-to-do family, but the mother remained an old-fashioned thinker, who did not spare her daughters. Her room was her capital, and after the date of her marriage was fixed, the elder sister told Alma that when the married sisters came to stay, there was only one room for them, a room as big as the hall. For that was enough. Sabah got a shock when her brother's children happily came to her room to keep their personal belongings. She immediately went to Alma, and when Alma said that you are going anyway, consider that house as your own. You will come here sometimes anyway. Sabah locked herself in the room crying and then got so angry with Alma that she left with the intention of not going back there. She was going to get married, but she was not going to die. In response to everything Alma said, she kept repeating this. His brother-wife also kept watching her crying helplessly and kept looking at Alma as she continued to scold at her. This did not go to my father, and in anger she shifted to her sister's room a few days before the wedding. And doing all her favorite things here and there. Alma was left helpless. When the sisters found out, they continued to explain. She listened to everything with teary eyes, but did not answer anyone. Father and brothers her cried and thought it was an impending marriage. Mother or anyone did not tell them the actual reason. "Speak up, auntie." She was sitting next to Ahad with toys scattered around her. She was teaching him to call himself auntie. He often used to shout "Mama" when he saw her, and although he had a lot of sympathy for children, she did not approve of being called the mother of someone else's children. She was just an aunt to them. Every time she taught Ahad this, he would always point to Asma, governess, and call her Mama, as if he were teasing her by calling her mother. She was pregnant. "Say, on Timmy me." She muttered word by word. Ahad also started looking at him in a way that was admirable by speaking in his manner. "Be the child of the most bastard father. Just do it yourself. I am not a mother, but an aunt." She wanted to stare at Ahad, he hugged her tightly to avoid her gaze. Sabah laughed without wanting to. It was her and Ahad's secret joke. Auntie used to teach him and he used to play. Then how long they both kept laughing. Both were still laughing when Noor Ain also added her voice in their laugh. Sabah laughed and went to her side, and Asma, sitting on a chair on one side, was lost in her mobile phone and used to glance at her. Asma had fun. The children stayed with her for a short time and Sabah was always around them. She would go out for a few minutes and then she misses the children, then come back to children room. She picked up Noor Ain and brought her to the bed. She used to tickle her and she would start playing. The ringing of his phone attracted her. It was Mom's call. After so many months, she remembered. She came out asking Asma to sit with the children. "Hello Mom, hello, how is my daughter?" he asked in a loving tone. "I'm fine," she spoke briefly. She did not even ask about their well-being. Alma sensed his displeasure very well. She started telling herself. "Your father is also fine. Siblings are also fine. Sabah's eyes started to moisten, but she remained silent. How is Hadi? They are also fine. Are you happy? I don't know why my heart is aching for you. You have been angry for so many months. After marriage, he did not even take her round. I'm happy, Mom. Very happy. He told them the second things. She told them the second thing. You are not coming. I thought that I and your family would go round your house. Aman. Hadi and I are going to Germany for 3 months. My mother-in-law has been calling for a long time, but Hadi was not getting free time. Now the program has been made. Then there is a plan to go somewhere else. Alma became silent. You come for a few days. Alma, who was getting very emotional, made her angry. Did you keep me coming? She spoke in a hoarse voice. But she did not want to anger the already angry daughter, so she kept her tone soft. For no reason, he took my room and gave it to someone else. Good morning, child, he is your nephew. Mom, speak with patience. Don't emotionally blackmail me. Ours is not a small house, my room was seen in such a big house. Now consider your husband's house as your own. Alma got angry. No one took a room from you as long as you stayed. That house belongs to my sons. And then their descendants. Don't make me angry by saying such stupid things, you know I don't like to stay at other people's houses. I am fine at my husband's house. Don't invite me to your son's house again. She hung up the phone. And wiped the tears flowing down her cheeks with anger. Sons and his descendants, not us, as we were picked up from the orphanage. She came into the room rubbing her face with both hands. Hadi was sitting on the bed. A laptop was kept in front. He was constantly typing while bent over. There was a knock at the door. He raised his head and looked at the door. Before he gave permission to come, the door opened and Sabah came in. She is a strange girl, why did she knock when she did not ask permission? The angles of Hadi's face were distorted. She approached the bed walking confidently. Yes? Hadi asked question. You may remember that you were married to me. Looking at Hadi, she used to get angry, and it was also a way of expressing her anger. Yes, of course I remember. Is he said to the potential? So, for your information, I would like to request the responsibility of the non-maintenance of our married daughters on their husbands. Hadi straightened up at once. What does it mean? He did not understand. Sabah raised his right eyebrow at his misunderstanding. So much innocence? Hadi knew it was another joke, but after so long, he got the point. He immediately got down from the bed. It was late in the morning. He walked towards the wardrobe and after a few moments stood in front of it and held out a check. Sabah caught and checked the amount. There was a check for 5 lakhs. I'm sorry I had this. He spoke slowly. Now I don't like to ask for it every time by myself, nor am I used to it. Hadi stared at the closed door. Was it a girl? Because of Hadi's serious and charming personality, no one was free from him and morning stood in front of him not only with confidence, but also with sarcasm. Confidence and courage. Hadi's second opinion about it. Sabah came into the room and placed the check on the bed's mid-war. She remembered Hadi's saying. I'm sorry, I should have thought. You don't care about anything except that your beloved wife is dead and she has 2 children. It has been 4 months of our marriage today. I wish I hadn't married him. I was someone's first choice. First love. There is a stain of someone's love in his heart. And this is the scar of my heart. I don't know if I will ever be able to accept it in my life. Feelings are loveless and I am worried about whether my heart will ever have room for it. She was thinking about Hadi and her relationship late at night when she got an eye. She, who was crazy about sleep, used to be so confused after marriage that sleep was disappearing. And his for a restful sleep. It was not necessary to have a calm life, but it was necessary for her to be carefree as always, so that she did not care when her problems came to her mother or anyone. Due to which sleep was also safe. Now, day and night, she only kept these things on her mind. Sleep was fleeting. Life could not go on like this, nor did Sabah want to live like this. She decided to seriously read on. After searching the universities of Muzaffarabad, she decided to take admission in a university. And took admission in zoology. Then the next day when Hadi started to get up from the table after having breakfast, Sabah informed him even though he didn't want to. I have taken admission in masters. He paused and then turned to see her staring at the newspaper while sipping tea. Hadi pursed his lips. She used to show the attitude of calling, she still wanted to tell, but she gave the information. Well, he didn't even want to think that she would take his permission or ask him. It was also great to tell. Okay, Hadi also did not ask in which subject in which university. Both were not meant for each other. Sabah felt her displeasure, but remained unconcerned. Who cares about her that she cares about his displeasure? If you are angry, stay angry. However, she continued to have breakfast in peace. It was also great to tell. Okay, Hadi also did not ask in which subject in which university. Both were not meant for each other. Sabah felt her displeasure, but remained unconcerned. Who cares about her that she cares about his displeasure? If you are angry, stay angry. However, she continued to have breakfast in peace. Her beauty started being talked about in the university, while she was unconcerned about these things. And now I was just fed up. After the class was over, she was walking out when some classmates also came with her. Good morning. Talks about your beauty are becoming common. I am afraid that one day Unidan will come to ask the secret of her beauty. Her beauty started being talked about in the university, while she was unconcerned about these things. And now I was just fed up. After the class was over, she was walking out when some classmates also came with her. Good morning. Talks about your beauty are becoming common. I am afraid that one day Unidan will come to ask the secret of your beauty. Everyone started laughing. Although I am not such a hypocrite. It's just that people are also strange. If someone likes you, the started earth and the sky praise her. Sabah said impatiently. She was going to the canteen. What kind of girl are you? You're getting so many compliments instead of being happy. Sadia made it famous. You can't be happy. I'm a normal girl.